So today I'm here with Jennifer Bondy. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks.
And Jennifer actually has a title company called The Closing Lab. And so I'm going to talk to her a little bit about that. So tell me, how long have you been in business? You're an attorney. I should have said that up front, right? You're an attorney.
Yes.
Full disclosure.
Yes. So I've been an attorney for 10 years and I've always loved real estate. So I've done closings through our law firm before, and I just decided to launch a brand new title company. So it's an attorney-owned title company. And I feel like that kind of gives people the best of both worlds. You get the knowledge and expertise of working with a real estate attorney, and then the speed and experience you expect working with a title company.
And I think that's good too, because there are a lot of other states, you know, other than Florida, that actually are attorney states.
Yes.
And so they're much more comfortable. I know, just working with people, because we have so many people moving to Florida, that they feel more comfortable with that. And, you know, that's always an option that we love to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like that. Attorney and title works hand in hand. So how did you get started in your business?
Well, as I mentioned, I've been an attorney for 10 years and I've always really focused my practice on real estate. So before I became an attorney, I worked in mortgages, and in the title industry, actually, I worked for First American Title for a couple of years. And since I've always focused my practice on real estate, I just really wanted to expand our offerings by having a title company that really stood alone from the law firm.
Yeah, no, I like that. And so, because something you had said earlier kind of triggered something with me. So what are the different title services that people can get? I know you mentioned something about custom homes, which surprised me, but.
Yeah. So most people don't know what title insurance is or what title companies do, but title company is the person or the intermediary who's really responsible from taking the handoff from a realtor who prepares the contract and really takes the transaction from contract to closing. We would do a title search, a lien search, do some other due diligence related if there's a homeowners association getting an estoppel, but we can do that either with purchases. We can do it with refinances. So if you're refinancing a house, wanting to get a lower rate, all those people who are buying now at a high rate, maybe looking to refi in a couple years, you can select the title agent who handles the title work for you. And then when someone's building a custom home, we can also do the construction loan associated with that as well.
So you just triggered a question that, and I apologize for kind of throwing it out there.
That's okay.
But, so like when I list a property, that's one thing I always say to the seller. I'll just say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, just so you know, title is your choice.
Yeah.
And then I say, do you have a title company that you prefer working with? And I would say 99.9% of the time, unless they just recently closed with someone that had a great experience, they really don't know. Like how does one like you get the word out to make you stand apart from everyone else?
Yeah, that's a great question. And a lot of it does come down to the realtor relationships that we have. And when you mentioned that when someone has a really great experience, maybe they come back. I've experienced that a lot, where people who've maybe been the buyer in a transaction where the seller has chosen us as the title agent has then come back when they're looking to sell a property because of the great experience they had. But you're right. Most people just aren't aware of what a title company is. So the relationships typically come from realtors and lenders.
Now, and then I'm going to throw another question at
you. Sure.
Are you originally from Florida?
I technically am from Georgia. So my mother lived in Tallahassee, but prior to being born, she lived in Thomasville, Georgia, which is about 45 minutes north of Tallahassee. Really? My husband says I do.
Not at all.
But so I was technically born in Georgia, but I was brought home to Florida. So my birth certificate says Georgia.
But how long were you in Georgia for?
I guess however long you stay in the hospital after you're born. Yeah.
Oh
she didn't live in Thomasville anymore. We lived in Tallahassee. So yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So
I consider myself a native Floridian.
Yeah, which is unusual.
Yeah.
My youngest is a native Floridian, but my other children aren't. But that's interesting. So for those people who don't know who Jennifer is, tell everyone who you are.
Well, I am an awesome friend. I think I'm a great business partner, and I love helping people. So one of our mottos at the Closing Lab is we've got real estate closings down to a science, because really tried to make it a great, predictable experience for our clients. So I think, oftentimes, as many closings if you've done, sometimes the closing experience can cause a lot of bumps in the road. And so we've really kind of perfected our process to make it as easy and a great customer experience.
Oh, that's wonderful. And so since you've been in Florida, why did you choose Central Florida? What's so special about Central Florida?
Central Florida is just amazing. Besides being in Orlando and having a top tourist destination, there's so many communities that really just give you such a wide variety. There's different communities, different cultural aspects. I think on on Mills and 50, you've got the kind of the Asian district where there's so many different restaurants. You've got Winter Park where there's a lot of history. So I just really love the the melting pot that Central Florida creates.
Yeah, there are so many great places, that's true. And Winter Garden has grown so much, and Claremont's growing, and Mineola's growing, and just Florida in general is growing. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And do you have any questions?
No, thanks for having me. I've really enjoyed it.
All right. Thank you. And thanks to Jennifer.